Lakem. We're going to get started in one moment. Welcome to your power call. Welcome back to your power call. If you have always been a part of the power call, for the newcomers, welcome to your power call. It is Wednesday. We're going to tap in. Give us 1 second. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get a little something, some motivation started for the morning. So let's get that going.
It's your whole heart. It's your whole mind. It's your whole soul. It's your whole bank account. You have absolutely no control. You got to let go. He does not need a co-pilot. Get your butt in the back and sit down and shut up. He's going to close the door. He's going to take you where you need to go. And when you land, he's going to tell you when you land, and he's going to tell you when to get off. I'm going to tell you a story. This is how I know God loves me. But I'm talking to the rebels in the building. Do me a favor. I want you to start embracing order. Start embracing order and structure. Amen? So I start Ubering. Like, I don't really dig Uber. Like, that ain't my thing. Like, I'm still not really into getting in the car with a stranger. Like, I'm a 70s baby. You know what I'm saying? It still don't sit right. I don't know you. I don't know your driving record. You know what I'm saying? I just get in the whip with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still feel anxiety every time they pull up, right? So yesterday, and this is why I say God loves you, right? And what he has for you is for you. And stop being stressed and stop being worried. Just relax in the presence of the Most High God. Just, even if you blew your life, just trust that he got you. Is that okay? So I just want you to get ready for the word today, all right? Watch this. So whatever forward means for you, I want you to just embrace and write it on your phone. I want you to write it down. I want you to see it. Whatever area you need to move forward in, and some of you just want to go further. So one group, you stuck. You need to go forward. But another group, you just need to go further, right? So I get picked up, right? You know, first of all, I'm at the airport. She passed me. Right? I let that go, all right? But I finally get to her, get in the car, right? And it looked like she tired, but it's okay. It's like, it's black. At least do black, because it's like, they supposed to have some license or something. Like, they're supposed to be on a different level, right? But then they're just normal people, right? So we black, we drive, we get to the hotel. I'm like, all right, now I got to go to my venue. Got Dee settled. I got to get to my venue. And I get in the car with her, and I promise y'all, I should have known when she said, it was quiet. I'm cool with that. She's like, you want some music? That should have been my sign. That should have been my sign right there. She said, do you want some music? I should have been like, yes. If you need music, put the music on, right? And so there's a truck, and we almost hit the truck. And I'm like, okay, we almost hit the truck? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. I wasn't paying attention, but I do know we veered, and then we veered back. And I was like, did we almost hit the truck? You know what I'm saying? So then I'm trying to say, okay, well, maybe we all merged, and so that's what happened. And I looked, I was like, we didn't merge. We was in the middle lane. They was in the right lane. Like, there wasn't even no merging going on. Like, what was that? Right? And then it happened a couple more times, and I just started talking to her. I'm like, yo, you good? Right? Right? And then I realized what happened was she fell asleep multiple times. Right? But this is why I say God got you. Like, for real, even though she was asleep and she was tired and the enemy wanted to use her to take me out, it just wasn't time for me to be taken out. Right? For real, I'm just saying, you stressed out. You shouldn't be stressed. If he got you, he got you. And one of the things I want you to walk out today is just the faith. Like, it's not that you don't believe in God, but you still believe in you. Amen? No. I'm about to get in the word, but I really need y'all to hear what I'm saying. So I was doing our little Speakers Academy thing yesterday, and I had to talk about preparation. And one of the things I told the speakers was, I was like, yo, speaking is a high. It's a drug. I see a lot of people get on stage. It's a drug. It's a high. And what you do is 80% you do what God called you to do, 20% you in the self. And I was like, that self thing is what's going to blow, it's going to kill you. It's going to mess you up. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, if you get on stage, if somebody bring you, like, I just went to Clemson, right? So when he brought me there, he didn't bring me there for me to talk about me. He brought me there to help him keep his job and help these boys win a championship. Does that make sense? So for some of you, it's like a drug. It's like speaking. It's like 80% you doing what you're supposed to do, 20% it's about you. So a lot of you, like, you believe in God, you got faith in God, but you still got, you like, God, you take all that, but I'm going to get this part. I'm just being real. He said it don't work. Biblically, you rebels, you gotta stop that. It's no variation. You gotta stop that. Like, it's all of God. And I'm not telling you to do it because I'm telling you to do it, but he has a prescription. And God's prescription is, I need your whole heart. I need your whole mind. I need your whole soul. Nowhere in the word does he say 80-20 or 90-10. He said, I need your whole heart. I need your whole mind. I need your whole soul. He said, do me a favor, young man. You say you kept all the commandments. That's cute. Do me a favor, though. You still got something you holding on to. Like, you right. You have done everything I told you to do since you was a child. But I'm going to need you to go ahead and sell all you have and follow me. Little man was like, oh, hold up now. Hold on now. Now God was like, no. You just sat here and you had time with the Most High God. You were in my presence, which most people will never get that. You are a part of the 1% that physically was in my presence. You physically got a chance to talk to me. And what you decided to talk to me about was the 90% you got right. I'm not interested in the 90%. I'm actually here for the 10. I'm actually here for the stuff you didn't give to me. We don't need to entertain what you've already got. You're not here today because of what you've done right. You're here today because there's some stuff you have not been able to go forward on because you still hold on to a percent. And when you're dealing with God, the only way it works is all. It's your whole heart. It's your whole mind. It's your whole soul. It's your whole bank account. You have absolutely no control. You got to let go. He does not need a co-pilot. Get your butt in the back and sit down and shut up. He's going to close the door. He's going to take you where you need to go. And when you land, he's going to tell you when you land, and he's going to tell you when to get off. Sit your butt down. Don't even take your seatbelt off right now. You ain't heard the beat. You know those people when they land, as soon as they land, they take it out. They're like, hold up. Don't do that. Keep your seatbelt on. We will tell you when to take your seatbelt off. And so I got a word for you today, but I need you to know where you need to go forward in. Because some of you always want to come in here and you always want to go with what you already doing, what you've already accomplished, No, that's not why we're here. We're here for that percent that we have not released yet. That percent that we have not let go of yet. Does that make sense? So I want you to think about what that is right now, where you need to move forward. Where's that area in your relationship you need to move forward? Your personal life that you need. Where's that thing? What's that thing? What's that thing that you need to let go of? Does that make sense? And when you're ready, just let me know you're ready, because I got the word, but I just want to make sure I know when you're ready. Are you ready? Have you acknowledged that thing? Have you given it to God right now? You know where you want to go forward. And for some of you, you know where you want to go further. See, I don't need to go forward. I'm going forward, but I need to go further. Hallelujah. I'm not quite where he wants me to be yet. And I know the areas. And we're going to talk about it today. All right, let's go to the word. I think we're ready. Yep. God told me that the reason why some of us are paralyzed and we're not going forward is because of the giants in our life. Right? I don't know about you, but I still have some giants in my life. Right? And I'm going to be honest with you, I would prefer, amen, just in my daily life, even with exercise, I would prefer to do cardio. Why? Because that's what I do. Like, that's what I've always done, right? And it ain't that I'm against nothing else. It just, I just have a tendency to do what I like to do. I've not traditionally done resistance. Y'all missed what I just said. I've just not traditionally done resistance. Matter of fact, I didn't even try it. So I don't have nothing against it. I don't have a history with it. I just never did it. So when I started working out and I heard that I had to do resistance, I was like, okay, God, I'll do resistance, but I'm going to do cardio first. But it's like resistance is better to do cool, but I'm going to do cardio first. Why? Because I just like to do cardio. Like, we don't just like to just deal with giants. They might be real giants. They might be made up giants. They might not even be that deep. But if it's a giant in our mind, we usually like to go away from the giants. And what I want to say to you today is God told me if you want to go forward, it's time to face the giants. No, God told me that you're better off facing the giants because you actually grow exponentially when you deal with giants versus when you don't deal with giants. All right, just in case you don't know this story of David and Goliath, we're just going to go back a little bit. And so before David dealt with Goliath, he dealt with what? Before the giants, what did he deal with? Sheep. Yeah, he dealt with sheep, right? And so when he was dealing with the sheep, right, he was killing bears and lions and stuff, right? But we don't know when David was dealing with sheep, we don't even really know who he was. We don't really discover David until he started dealing with giants. Oh, I'm talking to somebody today. I'm talking to you today. I'm telling you that the reason why we don't know you, the reason why your identity has not been revealed, the reason why you are not in your proper place, the reason why you're not moving and operating the way the Lord will have you to move and operate is because you're still dealing with sheep when you should be dealing with giants. But you prefer to do cardio. You prefer cardio. I prefer. I don't care you get on the treadmill. I don't care if you tell me to run. I don't care if you tell me to run 30 minutes. I don't care. Like, it don't matter. We can go outside and run 5 and 6. Like, I don't care. If it's cardio, let's go. Like, I'm never afraid of cardio. There's nothing you're going to say about cardio. I've been doing cardio. So I've been running my whole life. I prefer cardio. I prefer to run. I don't prefer to sit still and push weights. I don't prefer to go 30 and then tomorrow I got to go 40, next day I got to go 50. Like, I don't prefer to do nothing. And if I do it for 8 months, that it don't do nothing when you do it for 8 months. Like, you got to move on to something else. I prefer cardio. You prefer sheep. You are comfortable with the sheep. You're comfortable with the bear. You're comfortable with the lion. You're comfortable with it. God is saying today that your exponential growth is not going to come from sheep. Your exponential growth is going to come from dealing with giants. When you start dealing with giants, you double, you triple in value. Not only do you double and triple individually, but collectively. When you are tending the sheep publicly, they don't know you. When you start dealing with giants, everybody find out who you are. God told me to tell you, stop running from the giants. You're gonna really move forward when you start playing with giants. Oh, I'm talking to somebody in the room. That's why I ask you. If you want to go forward, if you want to go further, you got to deal with the giants.
All right. It's time to get started. Let me switch this up. Let me see here. Stop sharing. Come here. All right. Actually, I don't want to do that. We're going to open up in prayer as we do every day. Get us in the right mind frame, the right attitude. Let's go here. Boom. All right. So let's get into the position of prayer, which is most comfortable for you. Attention prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, surely I have turned myself being upright to Him who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not the polytheist. Surely my prayer, my sacrifice, my life and my death are all for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate has He. In this I am commanded, and I am those who submit. O Allah, Thou art the King. There is no God but Thee. Thou art the Lord, and I am Thy servant. I have been unjust to myself, and I confess my faults. So grant me protection against all my faults, for none grants protection against faults but Thee. And guide me to the best of morals, for none guides to the best of morals but Thee. And turn me away from the evil and indecent morals, for none turns away from the evil and indecent morals but Thee. O Allah, make Muhammad successful, and the true followers of Muhammad successful, as Thou did make Abraham successful and the true followers of Abraham successful. For surely Thou art praiseworthy and magnified. O Allah, bless Muhammad and the true followers of Muhammad, as Thou did bless Abraham and the true followers of Abraham. For surely Thou art praiseworthy and magnified. Ameen. All right. Today we are on the topic. Let me switch this back up again. Stop sharing for a second. We are on the topic of the evil of the hypocrite, the enemy within. This is going to be a great lecture as always. So let's make sure I got my videos and things lined up here. If we have anybody in here for the first time, welcome to your power call. If you are a returning member, welcome back to your power call. Remember that always, if you want to upgrade, feel free to upgrade. If you're on an Apple or iPhone device, be sure to go to your web browser, whether it's Safari or Chrome, and go to www.thepowercall.net, and you'll be able to see the plans. If you click on General, you'll be able to see the premium plan and the business plan if you'd like to upgrade there as well. When you do upgrade, you have access to come over and be able to share your feedback. You're able to get on the other side in the other premium call community, where you're able to post things. You're able to communicate through the premium side, but you're also able to share your feedback and takeaways on camera via the mic if you don't want to get on camera as well. But you also get access to the additional spaces that we have, which we have those classes that we have been speaking about as well. The sisters only space, which they have a class starting tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, being hosted and taught by Sister Yasina. So definitely look forward to that for the sisters. Again, this is for sisters only. So brothers, we have our own space as well, the brothers only space, which we are working to develop classes for us as well. This will be a safe space for us to be able to communicate on different topics that we need help with, the same way the sisters only space is for the sisters. And again, we keep it separate for them to be able to have their privacy, be able to speak comfortably amongst themselves, and we have our space as well. So that's where we utilize that, but you only get access to that if you upgrade. So if you would like to upgrade and support the Power Call, you can do so by going to www.thepowercall.net. If you're on an Apple device, if you're on Android, you should be able to upgrade within the app if you haven't already. If you've been shared this link and you're on here as well, you want to download the Mighty Networks app, look for the Power Call, or you can just go to thepowercall.net and it would direct you to how you can download the app as well. If you want to visit your local boss or study group, be sure to go to www.noistudygroup.com. You'll see it on the ticker below. It definitely continues to go on. So if you forget what we say or you came in after I've already said it, look below. You'll see the ticker symbol or the ticker down there. I'm thinking about stocks. You get look at the ticker at the bottom. You'll be able to see the websites to be able to visit your local study group or be able to upgrade and join the Power Call app as well. So without further ado, we're going to bring the minister on with the lecture, The Evil of the Hypocrite, the Enemy Within. So let's get ready for that. Okay. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see here.
As we prepare to hear from Brother Farrakhan, inshallah, in just a few minutes, I want you to open your eyes, open your ears, and get ready to hear God talk to you. You're not listening to me. You want to talk to God? You want to hear God. You pray to God to answer your prayers, but how is God going to answer your prayers? Is he going to start talking to you in a dream? Is he going to start whispering something in your ear? And if he answers your prayer through another human being, through another man, another mortal like yourself, will you reject him if you hear God in him? Then you would have to say, or take your time and re-examine and listen for the man of God. Here he is, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Let's receive him with a warm round of applause. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. We thank Allah for blessing us with our beloved leader, teacher, and guide, the Messenger of Allah, the Messiah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Tonight, I would like to continue with the thought raised by myself through Minister Ismail Muhammad on Monday night at FOI. The sisters didn't hear it. I want to read to you from the 9th surah or chapter of the Holy Quran. O Prophet, strive hard against the disbelievers and the hypocrites, and be firm against them, and their abode is hell, and evil is the destination. They swear by Allah that they said nothing, and certainly they did speak the word of disbelief and disbelieved after their Islam, and they purposed that which they could not attain, and they sought revenge only because Allah, as well as His Messenger, had enriched them out of His grace. So if they repent, it will be good for them, and if they turn away, Allah will chastise them with a painful chastisement in this world and the hereafter, and they shall have in the earth neither a friend nor a helper. And of them are those who made a covenant with Allah. If He give us out of His grace, we will certainly give alms and be of the righteous. But when He gave them out of His grace, they became niggardly of it, and they turned away, and they are averse. So He requited them with hypocrisy in their hearts till the day when they meet Him, because they broke their promise with Allah and because they lied. Now these verses of the Quran are directed toward a particular class of people. And that class of persons or people is considered in the lowest depth of the fire, because there is nothing lower in the sight of God than a hypocrite. They're even lower than a devil, because a devil is a devil. But a hypocrite feigns to be of the righteous, while in his heart he's an enemy of the righteous. The sad thing about this is that the person comes in to Islam and submits, and then they speak the word of disbelief after they have said they submit. Then they purpose that which they could not attain. And what is that? What is it that the hypocrites purpose that they cannot attain? That is the destruction of Islam and the murder of the messenger. And they sought revenge. They were angry with God because He enriched them out of His grace with wisdom and a messenger from Himself. But even though they're in that condition, Allah holds out mercy. And He says, so if they repent, it will be good for them. But if they turn away, Allah will chastise them with a painful chastisement in this world and the hereafter. And there are those who are hypocrites who made a covenant with Allah. It's like a bargain. And they said, if you, Allah, will give us out of your grace, we will certainly give alms or pay the poor rate and we will be of the righteous. But when Allah gave them out of his grace, they became niggardly of that grace, meaning they would not give in charity, they would not support the cause, even though they told Allah that if he blessed them, they would certainly be of the righteous, and they would certainly give out of what he had given them. But when he blessed them, they held their money in their pockets. They wouldn't give. They wouldn't help. They would do nothing. So Allah requited them with hypocrisy in their hearts. They weren't hypocrites, but as a result of their niggardliness, Allah requited them with hypocrisy. He paid them back by making them what they became, hypocrites, because they broke their promise with Allah and because they lied. What was the lie that they told? They told Allah that if he blessed them, they would be of the righteous, and they would certainly help the messenger. And when he blessed them, they broke their promise. They wouldn't give, and so God punished them by turning them into hypocrisy because they broke their promise with him. When you got those kind of persons, hypocrites, they could be our wives, our husbands. It could be our sons, our daughters. It could be our friends and loved ones. Your test and my test is not being firm against somebody else who's a hypocrite. But the prophet is told, strive hard against the disbelievers. Strive hard against the hypocrites and be firm against them. Their abode is hell, and evil is their destination. You can't have a tender spot in your heart for hypocrites. You can't have a tender spot in your heart for disbelievers. A person who has never heard the truth is not a disbeliever. There are millions of our people who have never heard the truth. Don't call them disbelievers because they've never had a chance to hear that they might be classified as a disbeliever. But a disbeliever is one who hears the truth and rejects it and refuses to believe in it. Do you follow what I'm saying? Then when a person is a rejecter of the truth, after they hear it, the person who loves the truth has to be firm with them. Why? Because a disbeliever is not going to be satisfied until he pulls a believer back into disbelief. It could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be your husband, a wife, friend. When they disbelieve, they don't respect what you believe, do they? So when they disbelieve, they say things against your belief to weaken you in that which you have accepted that has given you life. So you can't be tender toward them. You have to be firm. It didn't say bust them in the mouth. It didn't say shoot them. It just said be firm against them. And but that is even difficult when you love people. It's hard for a mother to be firm against her disbelieving son or daughter, isn't it? It's hard for a child to be firm against a disbelieving parent. But that's what the Quran demands. Didn't say be disrespectful, said be firm. And when you're firm against something, that means you're standing resolutely, strongly, steadfastly against something that God himself disapproves. He don't like disbelievers. And he certainly does not like hypocrites. Now, why, Farrakhan, are you taking up a subject like this? In the book of Revelations, it talks about a dragon that stood before the woman who was about to deliver her child. She was carrying a man-child, and that child was destined to rule the nations, plural, with a rod of iron. So what the dragon saw was a baby coming into the world that was going to supplant or replace him as a ruler. He didn't want the new ruler to supplant him, so he stood before the woman to devour her child as soon as it was born. Now, in this, sisters, there's a warning to you. We live in a time now, or at a time, when the enemy is upset over so many black babies coming on the planet. Who produces them? Who produces them? You do. So the book is telling you that at a certain point, the enemy is going to attack the black woman. And this is happening right now as we speak. The Ku Klux Klan has said from Atlanta, Georgia, I don't know whether you saw the television show, I didn't get a chance to see it, but I heard about it, that this man, Wayne Williams, that was accused of killing all those little boys and a few girls in Atlanta, that he really was innocent of that, but they suppressed information that would have led directly to the Ku Klux Klan, because they did not want black people to know that white people were killing young black boys while they were building Atlanta to be this great city with business opportunity. A race riot would have destroyed that image and set the city back. So they suppressed that evidence. According to this television show, Wayne Williams became the scapegoat while they knew it was members of the Ku Klux Klan. And one of these demons, members of the Ku Klux Klan, said that they were killing young boys, but they were going to start killing the black woman who produces these nigger children. Which, as you may recall, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, before he departed from us, he stopped our sisters from coming out to night meetings. Only the brothers came out at night. You remember that? There was no Wednesday night, no Friday night that the sisters came out. Just a skeleton crew of officials to handle the women who might come to the mosque. But the sisters were not here. He never let the sisters then have jobs at night. And he said that the sisters should not go out on the street at night unless you are accompanied by your father, your husband, or your brother. But you should not be alone in the streets at night.
Now, this was in the 70s. Now we're in the 90s, and they are actually killing our women. We had a flyer where they were talking about black women who were domestics working in white communities, how they would be at the bus stops and they would attack them at the bus stops and kill them by injecting air into their veins with hypodermic needles. They said this publicly, and the dragon stood before the woman. On the purely physical level, sisters, you do not know how important you are to the future of the nation. And don't you realize that the enemy is set to destroy the black woman? Because if he destroys you, we have no future. Now, how does the dragon destroy the woman? I'm going to deal with it on the spiritual level also, but I want to deal physically with the sisters. Sisters, I was driving today, early this morning, and as I drove down 55th Street, I saw a sister standing by the bus stop. She didn't see me. I don't know the sister. She had on a dress of decent length. She had on a headpiece. She was covered. And she was sitting there. And as I drove by and I saw her, I said a prayer. I wanted to just stop and let her know how proud I was that she was there dressed in a manner that would protect her. When you dress in the way the messenger taught us to dress, there's protection for you, sisters. This Quran is not a book of lies. This is a book of truth. And it tells the Muslim woman, lower the hem of your garment, that you may be known. You don't want people not to know that you are the righteous. Because when you are known as the righteous, people think before they mess with you because they know you got protection. And they respect you when you respect yourself. I was proud of that sister. And I was going too fast to stop. But my mind told me just to stop and go over and thank her for striving to be right. And I know she would have been shocked to see Farrakhan and for me to stop her and congratulate her. Because to me, I appreciated her. This sister sitting right down in front, Sister Louise, no matter where I see you, sister, you are always dressed as a Muslim. And I want you to know from me publicly that I love you and I'm deeply respectful of you and honored, you know, that to know that I have a sister that will strive to be what the messenger asked. You know, you can testify to the rest of the sisters that as long as you dress like that, men don't whistle at you, they don't bother with you, they show you honor and respect. And I say this, sisters, and I will not force you to dress any way that you don't wish to dress. But you need protection in today's world. These people are so crazy, if they'll rape an 80-year-old woman, I mean, that is madness. But they do it. if they will molest a 6-month-old baby, then mothers, don't put your little girls in these little party clothes showing their little form and their little backside, and you think it's cute. There's some sick people in this world. Even in your own house, tell the girls when they reach puberty, you cannot walk around in your own house uncovered, careless the way you sit, careless the way you dress. You must cover, and a good mother will make her daughter cover or smack the hell out of her. If I was a mother, I'd whoop the hell out of you. You wouldn't have to walk around my house naked, but one time, when I get finished with your behind, you have some clothes on. And every time I see you, I'd blaze you until you got that message. You know why? There are too many brothers sleeping with their sisters. There are too many fathers trying to mess with their daughters. There's too many uncles trying to mess with their nieces. And you wives, you gotta be alert. You sleep too damn much. And you let your girls run around in a house and you're asleep while there's strange men in the house. You better wake up and smell the coffee before we charge you and beat the hell out of you for your neglect of your own children. You say that's awful. You say that's terrible for a man of God to speak like that. Let me tell you something. You ain't met a man of God yet. A man of God will not only beat you, he'll kill you. Go read your Bible. The men of God don't play with you. No. You know, our women are sacred and they're precious. I'm just saying this in this manner because you are so valuable. You are so precious in the sight of God. And for you not to put value on yourself and your daughters is sick. You just have to be a better and a stronger woman. You don't need no man if he's gonna molest your child. You are the protector of your daughter. Even if you gotta kill a nigga, you are supposed to protect your daughters. They may put you in jail, but you'll come out quick. Yeah, I killed him. I'm not sending you home to kill your husband. But man, if you're doing that, you're worthy of death. And there will come a time when that kind of penalty will be carried out. None of us is that holy and that righteous yet, but many of us are striving to get there. Brothers, we have to look to our women with honor and respect. These men, we are the protectors of our women. You can't protect nothing that you don't control. So as a man, a woman has to give us a certain measure of control. You can't take it, she has to give it. We have to be worthy of that measure that she gives us. A woman is not going to give control to a fool. Nor should a woman give control to a fool. I'm not teaching rebellion, just some common sense. Now, sisters, the dragon, let's look at that word dragon. I know Minister Ishmael explained it and therefore why. But we want to say it again because we can drive it deeper just by repeating it. There's no such thing as a dragon. There's no animal called dragon, is there? You haven't gone to the zoo to see the dragon, have you? So there's no dragon then, is it? So if the Bible is talking about a dragon and there is no dragon in the zoo, and you don't know anybody that has seen a dragon, then it is a mythical animal. Is that right? It appears in mythology. Okay. But look at the word dragon. Dragon. When they say so-and-so is a drag, or the sissy goes out in drag. You understand what that means, right? He about to drag somebody down, faking like he's a woman. You think you got a woman and you take it to where you would take a woman and find out you got a man. Ain't that a drag? You get what you pay for these days, brother. You pay for a man, you got what you paid for. You're in trouble. A dragon. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when the truth comes to you, me, us, you mount up on truth. You start getting a feeling of elevation because truth raises you. It elevates you. It dignifies you. Here comes a dragon. Not a real animal, but a dragon is one that they say breathes fire, right? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that dragon means he drags you down off of the mount of truth that you have mounted up on. He drags you down and drags you out of the light into darkness again. Now the dragon could be your brother sitting next to you or your sister sitting next to you. How can my sister be a dragon? She don't look like that mythological creature to me. It ain't the looks, it's the action. You're a believer. You have come to faith, and somebody's sitting next to you breathing fire. Not that they got bad breath, and they may have. But even if they got sweet smelling breath, and they're speaking the word of disbelief after they believed, sitting next to you talking about, I don't believe this. I don't like, I think so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Man, I just hate this now. But, you know what I mean? I come in here, and I was, and you sitting there listening to this. All of a sudden, like fire on a piece of wood, you see it begin to shrivel up, change form. So you sitting next to a dragon who's breathing fire on your faith, speaking the word of disbelief after they believe, then all of a sudden you start shriveling up. You don't look the same anymore. You don't act the same. And people say, well, what's the matter with you? Your record shows. They don't attend anymore. They used to attend all the time, once a month. They used to give. Oh, they ain't giving no more. Used to sell the new. What happened to you? Huh? I don't know. I got to work. I got to make some money. Time I look around, you people is asking for money. I have to make some money, man. But the real truth is, somebody breathed on them. and drag them down off of the mount of truth, and then drag them out of light into darkness. They come around the mosque, but you see their face is not lit anymore. Skin is ashy because the thought in the mind has changed. The dragon is at work. And the dragon stood before the woman to devour her child as soon as it was born. We dealt with the physical, now let's deal with the spiritual. In the spiritual sense, the woman here is referring to a messenger of God. He's like a woman in that the messenger is pregnant with a word that would deliver 30 million or 40 million people from the clutches of the beast or the Caucasian or the white world. So the woman, the messenger, is pregnant. And the dragon is standing in front of the woman, meaning he's opposing the messenger. He knows he can't bring the messenger to disbelief, so he's working to devour the child as soon as it is born. When you come to the mosque, you hear a word, the conception of life is in your mind. You say, man, I like that. I go up and shake the minister's hand. You come up, you shake my hand, you fill out a form. You say, well, man, I really like this. Whoa, this is what I've been looking for all my life. You come to Mosque Mariam. That's why I called it Mary. Because she's pregnant with you. And you are going to be saviors of your people. So as Mary gave birth to Jesus, this mosque is going to give birth to male and female saviors who are going to go out of here born into the world to rise up and deliver your people. You understand? All praise is due to Allah. So the enemy stands before the mosque, Mariam, or before the minister, Farrakhan. Make it real plain. He's opposing me at every turn. But if he can't bring me to disbelief, the way he destroys me is to destroy you. So as soon as you come to birth as a Muslim, the idea is to kill you. Not necessarily physically, but to turn you back into disbelief and make you hate the day that you ever met Louis Farrakhan, so that you would purpose something that you could never attain. If all of you turned hypocrite together, you couldn't stop Islam. You couldn't stop the success of the message of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You just can't do that. And you can't kill the apostle of God unless it pleases God that you do so, and I don't believe that it does. But that does not stop. That does not stop the hypocrite from having the thought in his mind or her mind to kill the apostle. What do you want to kill me for? Because Allah enriched you out of his grace. What is his grace? Wisdom. You came to me a damn fool, and I taught you knowledge and lifted you up from where you were. Why in the hell would you want an end to your brother? That's sick. That's madness. But some are thinking like that. And really what they're doing, it would be wise if they would repent of those thoughts, because it would be good for you if you do. But if you don't, the Quran says,
Allah will chastise them with a painful chastisement in this world and the hereafter. And they shall have in the earth neither a friend nor a helper. That's a bad state to be in, brother, when you think you got friends and none of them are your friends. Because a hypocrite can't have a friend, because a hypocrite is a friend to nobody. Because he's a liar. She's a liar. When you are enemy of God, how in the hell can you be the friend of anybody? When God is the greatest benefactor of all of us, what right do we have to turn on God? And the dragon stood before the woman to devour her child as soon as it was born. What kind of child was it? It was a man-child that was destined to rule the nations, all of them, with a rod of iron. In our lessons, the devil worked to destroy you when you're a baby. He's not going to let you grow into strength and power. Once he knows you're his enemy and you're a baby, he will kill the baby. That's why your babies are not doing well. Babies dying of AIDS. Babies sick. Babies being killed. But it's talking about you, brother, the black man. You have a great destiny. You don't think much of yourself, brothers, but you are some powerful men. All of you. There's not one of you that is not potentially powerful. The enemy knows this. So he stands before the apostle to devour the man-child, because he don't expect the woman to supplant him, but you will supplant the white man as a ruler. And that he never intends to see. So his aim is to destroy the black man, and particularly the black child. And that's why FOI class is so important. And that's why you must understand, brothers, that we are at war, even though you don't see a bullet being fired. We're at war, but the war is fought on this level now. They're after the men. Before you can grow from a child into a man, they don't want to see you become a man. Kill you now. They want no competition. And so, brothers and sisters, we have to look at the enemy within. The enemy that's on the outside, that you can handle. But the enemy that you got to really watch for is the dragon, sitting next to you, posing as a Muslim. They've already spoken the word of disbelief and disbelief after their Islam, but they won't leave the mosque. They sit in the mosque and they come after every new brother and every new sister to poison them. Their aim is to destroy Islam. But they can't do it. The enemy sent in a particular mosque a man in. He was a young man. And he worked his way up into the secretarial department. And he was told by those who sent him to steal the money of the poor believers who are giving their money in charity to the cause of Islam. He is an agent of the federal government working his way into the secretarial department
to steal the funds of poor people so that we can't make progress for poor people. Isn't that something? This is going on right now. So everybody in the mosque is not a Muslim, though they all say Assalamu alaikum. You got to understand that. Nothing wrong with that. That's just as it's written that it would be. You got people in here that are sincere, brothers and sisters, and you got people that are faking it. And if you don't know who the sincere ones are, who the fakers are, then you have to grow and be wise and watch and listen to people. And look, when I speak to you, you go out on a high, man. That's what truth does. If somebody is talking to you on the spirit of the minister, they don't kill your spirit, they lift your spirit. But when you're sitting next to somebody and they're talking to you and you go home and your head is all confused and messed up and you don't know right then whether you want to continue to be a Muslim or whether you want to give it up, that person is different from the minister who spoke to you and raised you up. That's a person trying to kill you. And yet they say Assalamu alaikum and give you a big smile, maybe even loan you some money when you think you need it. And you won't say nothing on them. You won't report them to the minister, Ishmael, or the officials. You won't say nothing. Oh, he's my friend. But I'm so messed up, man. Damn, I couldn't sleep all night long. God, he didn't have to tell me that. Well, then he see you the next day. How you doing, brother? He's watching you. See how you took what he dropped on you last night. Or what she dropped on you last night. Because they got she droppers as well as he droppers. If you're not wise, first thing you should do is say, well, I was well till I talked to this dude. I was feeling fine. Now I got a headache, man. All of a sudden your spirit is down. See, you come to the mosque because you know it's where you should be. But, all right, brothers, here's the paper. You ain't got the strength to pick up a paper. Where you gladly gave in charity with a smile, you don't get nothing this week. You don't get nothing next week. And maybe your attendance gets slack. And you begin to think this is a game. Somebody's tricking you because you've been tricked all your life. And you think now this is another one. Brother and sister, let me straighten you out real quick, you know. This is an awful game to play. You know, I could do so many things with my life. Believe me, I'm a very talented brother. I don't need this to make a living for my family. I didn't need this to make a living for my family before I met this. I want to make it very clear to you. You ain't got nothing that I want to rob you of. You know, they say all that a man has, he'll give for his life. My life is on the line, brother. When you see the CIA, the FBI after me, when you see the Bush don't like me, the Jews don't like me, these are powerful enemies. Then if I wanted to be loved, I could play the game like Jesse. If I wanted to be loved, what I mean is, when I say play the game, I could stop talking about what concerns black people and talk about our America, our Constitution, our flag, but you know it ain't ours. And if you don't know it, I know it. I can't play that game. Even if it meant that I die, I'd rather be dead than to play that game. No, I can't say my country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. You talk that crap, but I can't do that and be true to who and what I am. No, this ain't no sweet land of liberty. It's a cursed land of slavery and debauchery and evil. And I gotta stand up and say it like it is. So don't think that the little car that the brothers bought me, limousine or some little car I drive or nice clothes I wear, that's payment for my work. You can't pay me for what I do. I'm not promised no money for what I do. I'm promised a reward from God for what I do. So the fact that I ride in a nice car or wear nice clothes don't make me good. And the fact that you may not have those things doesn't make you less than I am. Because this is not the measure of a man. It's here and it's here. That's where the real man is. So the dragon stands before the woman to kill the man-child. Nothing in the nation will be successful without the men. It's wonderful to have sisters that help, but this is not church. In the church, the women run that house because the men are non-productive. It's the women who work in the church. Is that right? Yes, sir. You should work wherever you are. But since God made us with two legs, don't you think a man ought to work for his woman? Yes, sir. Come on. Yes, sir. Then if this is a true house of God and man was made to have dominion and power, then brothers, it's you that have to carry the nation on your shoulder. That's why the brothers in the FOI have the sun, moon, and star on their shoulders. The sisters don't have that. Because the book said the government would be upon his shoulder. And he would be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Prince of Peace, the Everlasting Father. Well, that's what you came here for, brothers, to help work to build a nation for your woman and your children to enjoy. That means if the men are weak, the nation is weak. If the men are strong, the nation is strong. If the men are strong and the women are strong and supportive, the nation is super strong. And that's why the dragon stands before Mosque Mariam. Since this is the headquarters mosque of the nation, they got the most skilled hypocrites in this house. Because if they can stop us at the center, then they can stop us in New York, in LA, in Atlanta, and all the cities across the country. So their skilled devils will be here working. They work on the leadership. They start from the top down and from the bottom up. They're termites. They love to sow the seed of dissension between the leadership, because usually they're always in all organizations, particularly where there are black people, there's always some kind of power struggle. Somebody not happy with their post want to be something else. And the people ain't crazy, they see it. So some will slip up next to you. I think that you ought to be the minister. You're so intelligent, so smart. I just love the way you teach. I mean, the spirit is just all over. You should be the minister. And you act like you didn't hear it. After a while, that stuff starts feeding you. I'm going to close. The object of a hypocrite is to kill the progress, the onward motion, the forward motion of an individual and a people. Now, that Muhammad University of Islam, small, insignificant, but its record is better than the record of any school in the nation, white or black. Now, that's significant. You graduate 10 high school students. 50% of your class, your graduating class, are honor students. And 4 of 10, not 2, but 4 are in who's who of American high school students. 4 out of 10. You ain't got that in no school in America but at Muhammad University of Islam. Now, regardless to what fault we find with our own school, the product is the witness. Everything can be improved, but if we take what we have and work with it and make it better and better and better, then maybe all 10 or 15 will graduate and be in who's who. A hypocrite wants to destroy that school. So they'll speak against the school. So you'll take your child out of the school. There's always going to be problems, but this is yours. So you don't want to abandon what is yours. You want to fix what is yours. You live in a house, that's your house. If there's a crack in the ceiling, you don't go try to buy another house. You fix the crack in the ceiling. That's your house. And the dragon stood before the woman to devour her child as soon as it was born. My appeal to you, my dear believers, is to remain steadfast and strong in the faith. And don't let the enemy drag you down from the mount of truth after you have mounted up. Don't let the enemy drag you out of the light of God back into the darkness from which we came. Don't let the enemy do that. And in order for you not to let the enemy do that, you've got to be on God 23 hours, 56 minutes, 46 seconds, every day, every week, every month, every year. You can't fall asleep on your post. You got to walk your post in a perfect manner. Enemy do that. You've got to be on God 23 hours, 56 minutes, 46 seconds, every day, every week, every month, every year. You can't fall asleep on your post. You got to walk your post in a perfect manner, keeping always on the alert. observing everything within sight or hearing. You have to be an observant person. You got to listen to people when they talk, and when they don't talk right, check them. And brother, that's the wrong word. You speak like that again, and I'll report you. What do you mean? I can't, we can't have no snitch. That's like seeing a cockroach in your house, and you don't want to put raid on the cockroach. After a while, the cockroach will multiply and multiply and multiply, because you saw one and you slept on the one. Now there's 5, now there's 10, now there's a colony of them, and they're driving you out of your house. And that's what a hypocrite is. He's a human cockroach crawling out of the dark. You don't come out when the light is on, you run, but when the dark comes, the cockroach will move out looking for some filth. Cockroach you can't find in a clean place. Human cockroaches. You see, I can't report that, brother. Said, report all slackness and wrongdoing. Why? You want to keep your nation strong. Me and you as buddies. Me and you. We hanging together. Me and you. We Muslims and we buddies. Me and you. You and me. We down. Come on over to my house. You come over, and I'm feeling you out. See what you'll go for. You know, when I was out there in the world, man, I used to smoke a lot of reefer. What about you? I used to smoke a lot myself. I put it down, man. I put it down, but I'm telling you, sometimes I get weak. You know what I mean? I think about it. You know what I mean? Well, you know, brother, I tell you, I'm trying to clean up. You know what I mean? But just before I came in the mosque, I bought a pound. And I really didn't want to throw it away. Because, you know, the messenger teaches us to be practical. And look, brother, since I got this pound and I'm not going to throw it away, I made up my mind, understand, that after this is done, I ain't never going to return to this no more. So why don't we do up a joint together? You and me and you, my man. Assalamu alaikum. Before you know it, you and him got a joint you smoking. And after you smoke the joint, you feel real guilty, sister. This is how they work. You trying to be right. He says, sister, I'm coming in the nation. You know what I mean? Me and you. Me and you. And you know, it's a clean life in the nation. There's no fornication, there's no adultery, nothing like that. Nothing like that. But sis, you know, I mean, they give you time to get it together. And while we getting it together, why don't we just get together and help get it together? Here go another one. Into fornication in a long dress. Reefer smoker with his bow tie on. Homosexual hiding in the ranks. That's real, man. But it's me and you. See, people don't do evil alone. They got to do it with somebody. Ain't that something? You can't be a hypocrite by yourself. You got to recruit. If you use drugs, you're trying to find somebody to use it with you. If you're a homosexual or lesbian, you got to find somebody that will go that way with you. Come on. It's charity. You got to share. You share evil, you share good. Now you're on the road to hypocrisy. All dressed up with your bow tie on, your fine suit, your long dress. But you've been smoking that reefer last night. Been partying. Had a little affair. I'm in the mosque tonight. Praise is due to Allah. The minister's teaching a hard subject like I'm doing tonight. And guilt come over you. Say, I'm going to tell it. I got to tell something. It's eating me up on the inside. I got to tell somebody. Then the one that you're going to tell on spies you in the audience and looks at you with that cold look. Don't you report me. Oh, I'll tell on you too. We'll all get time together. So one is covering the other's backside. You understand? And before you know it, the house starts beginning to stink. Corruption. And then the power of the house begins to diminish. And the light in the house begins to go dim. And darkness begins to come over the house. And pretty soon the hearts wax cold. And before you know it, we can't get anything going anymore because we have become hypocrites. We broke our oath and we promised Allah, look Allah, if you would just enrich me out of your grace, I'm going to be righteous, I'm going to clean it up, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And Allah said, okay, I'll try you. And he enriches you, then you get niggardly. And then he requites you with hypocrisy in your hearts till the day you meet him, because we broke our promise with Allah and because we lied. And if we become a house like that, the dragon has already won. He has dragged us down from the mount of truth, dragged us out of light into darkness, dragged us from strength into weakness. We are no longer what we thought we were. There's no condition that can't be reversed. So I don't want to leave you with the thought in mind that a condition like that can't be reversed. To the brother who may have that pound and you down to a half a pound and got another month or so to smoke reefer and to give somebody else reefer, I'm asking you tonight to go home and throw it all away. And stop lying to yourself. You ain't going nowhere with no joint. Clean it up. Don't wait till tomorrow. You shacking up with one of the sisters. We married. And you ain't got no papers, nothing. Just shacking. Let's cut it out. Look what it says here. And certainly they spoke the word of disbelief and disbelieved after their Islam. And you know something? When you say you submit and then going to justify a reefer, you're speaking the word of disbelief. Justify crookedness, con games, lesbianism, homosexuality, adultery, fornication, anything that you justify after you know what is right. You're speaking the word of disbelief after your Islam. You're on the road to hypocrisy. And that's a dangerous road. I would advise everybody, get off that road. Get off that road. There is no power greater than a mind that has peace and contentment because it's true to itself. That is the ultimate joy, to know that when you lay down tonight, I lay down in peace because I have harmed no one. I have not broken the divine law. And if I have strayed a little, I've repented and tried to correct my course and get it back on track. See, the God don't want to hurt you. So he's telling you, look, if you would just repent, it would be good for you. You know what that means? If you would come to the realization that what you're doing is wrong and feel sorry enough about it that you make up your mind you're not going to do it again, and then develop the strength to say, I'm not going to do it again, throw the reefer out, throw the cocaine out, cut out your unlawful action. Now, it's easier said than done, isn't it? You need help, man. All of us need help. You know, there's a song we used to sing in the church, just a closer walk with thee. Huh? And it said, I am weak, but thou art strong. Keep me, Jesus, from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk close to thee. You want to walk with God. You want to walk with the messenger of God. That's the way you get your strength. You don't want to feel accursed. And when you're, you know, we say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, I seek refuge in Allah against the accursed devil. One who is removed from the face of God is one who is accursed. And you can't walk with God and be sinning against God. So every time we sin against God, it's like we're taking steps backward. God walking, and we can't walk with him because our sin won't allow us to walk with God. So the more you keep falling back behind God, the weaker you get, and the weaker you get, and the weaker you get. So you got to close the gap between you and God. And the only way you can close it, only way we can close it, is we got to repent. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to talk to Brother Ishmael. You have to go tell people, I'm the one he was talking about. I got that pound of reefer. How did he know? I don't know. I didn't tell nobody. If I said something that got into your personal life, nobody told me nothing about you. I'm just preaching. And God uses me as an instrument. So if in any way I have illuminated some weakness in you or myself, then give God the credit. Don't come to me, Minister, I'm the one you were talking about. Leave me alone. I got enough problems to deal with. Please don't bring that to me. Look here. If you just want to confess, tell you what you do. You go home tonight in the quiet of your room. You ain't got to tell nobody. Just talk to God. Say, look, God, you know, I've been weak. You know I've been weak because I can't fool you. But I want to come up out of it. And I need strength to do it. I'm sorry for what I've done, and if you give me a chance, I won't go back to that. I really want to be strong. I really want to be a good Muslim. I don't want to be a drag, and I don't want to drag nobody out of light into darkness. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I want to be a true believer, because I know those are the ones that you have favor with, and that have favor with you. And if you talk to the God like that, I mean, he is off returning to mercy, the merciful. He ain't going to say, get the hell out my face. He's going to say, come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden with sin. I'm going to give you rest. Just come come to me, not Farrakhan, come to the God who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. Don't go to no spook or no spirit. Talk to the real God who came to show mercy to you and me. Huh? Look at this now. All praise is due to Allah. Y'all all right? No. My time is up. My time is up. Go home and talk to the God. And when you talk to him, if you're sincere, the tears will fall out of your eyes. Because really, you're good people. You are really good people. You're not bad. You just get caught up into things that aren't good. But you're not bad. But you need strength to overcome weakness, don't we? So you start with prayer, and you got to make your prayer sincere, man. Can't be talking in your mind going to the Olympics. Damn, I wonder who won the 880. And then after that, you get up, you feel clean. But now here's what you got to do to get strong. We have to learn that food is the key to being able to control passions. Food. There's some foods that you eat, they stir your passions. Make you a hot tamale. Or some other kind of inflamed species. And there are other foods you can eat to cool you down. This is a world that's constantly titillating the sexual impulse in the human being. You need to eat food. We need to eat foods that water that down, cool it, particularly those who are single. And even a married brother, you got to have some measure of control. You heard about his husbands raping their wives, right? Can I get some water? Oh, here it is. I got to cool this one down. I can't get into this. A man should never rape his wife. I mean, there are times when a woman just is tired. I say something wrong? There are times when a sister just has had a hard day and she really does not wish to be bothered. There ain't no sense in it. Look here, girl. Excuse me. It's good to be able to control yourself. That when your mate isn't up to it, you throw the thought out your mind. There'll be a better day or night coming soon. Previews of coming attractions. But a man shouldn't rape a woman. And a man should never be such a dog. He around here begging a woman. Baby, please. Brother, you should be ashamed of yourself. Excuse me. I think I should go. My time is up. You must cut back on red meat if you want to control passions. Get away from red meat. Steak, lamb. Well, you know we don't take pork, so that's out of the question. But all red meat, back up. If you deal more with
vegetables and fruits, you'll find, man, I can't build no muscles. You know what I mean? I got to have me a steak. You know what I mean? I'm pressing weights and stuff. I mean, I got to eat me a steak. Well, let me tell you, when you go out in the field one day, you check out a horse. You ain't got no muscle to equal the muscles of a horse, do you? Any muscle. Wait now. Wait. Order in the court. Order. Can we have order in the court, please? But if you study the horse, this majestic animal, when that animal is moving, running a race, look at the beauty of the muscles in a horse. And they eat grass, grains. You can't build more muscle from eating the meat of the horse that got his muscle from eating the grain. Go to the same grain and the same grass or leafy vegetable that the horse ate. You can build muscle with that. That's how you built yours in the beginning. Hello. Now, the last thing I want to say is we must learn to fast. The Quran says fasting is prescribed for you, as it was prescribed for those before you. And you know what, sisters and brothers? If we would just stop eating just for 3 days, drink water, good clean water, but then stop eating food. Try it for a day. Say, I'm not going to eat nothing today. I'm going to drink water. I mean, your stomach's going to be calling now. It'll be talking to you. Just talk back. I ain't putting no food in you today. You can scream all you want to. I'm the boss here. And don't put no food in. You think I'm lying? That's what the messenger told me. Talk to your stomach. And when you talk to it, you'll start getting quiet. Because you the boss. After one day, you'll say, man, I did that for one whole day. Then try 2. Then one day, try 3. And let me tell you something, brother. When you can stop eating, then you can gain control of sexual appetite. All sex is a hunger. Just like food. It's a natural hunger. So if you can suppress the desire for food, then you can suppress and control the desire for sex. And once you got that stuff under control, then you're just a little bit closer in your walk with God. And you and I can be stronger and stronger and get more and more away from speaking the word of disbelief after our submission to the will of God. May Allah bless us as a community to strive to be Muslims, to strive to be right. And those who have fallen and have been weak, go home tonight and repent of it and make up your mind that you'll never return to that kind of behavior again. And ask Allah to help you, and then help yourself by changing your diet and then learning how to fast. May Allah bless you all, and thank you so much for coming out. And don't forget, on Friday night is study group. You know, you've been on that Study Guide 18, I guess, for the last year and a half. I wrote Study Guide 19 and 20, but I just haven't sent them over to you. And I wondered why myself. But I guess it's because there's something in Study Guide 18 that I want you to study, I want you to master. so that the nation will never, ever fall again. May Allah bless you, Muslims. Thank you for a wonderful evening as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
All right, all right, all right. I know we have, let me make sure I got that so we're not, stop sharing. There we go. Praise be to Allah for that message there. I know that was good. I know we have some takeaways. I know we have some thoughts. I know he probably stepped on some of our toes. I know he stepped on mine a little bit as well. So I'm sure you have something that you would like to share. Please press the number 1 if you would like to come up and give your takeaways, your feedback. If you're on the Vimeo side, please upgrade if you would like to share. Come on over to the premium side so we can hear what you've gleaned from the messages as well, your experiences, how you're continuing to work on yourself, because we all are learning from each other. I see one. Sister Yolanda, I'll get you up here in a minute. But again, don't be shy, family. If you don't want to be on camera, you still can be on microphone. But if you're not able to do either one of those, please utilize the Power Call testimonial section in the app and share your takeaways. Again, share your takeaways from the Power Call itself in that particular space. We want to keep it focused on that for those who weren't able to catch the live or haven't seen the replay yet, but they want to kind of see what everybody else was getting. Utilize that Power Call testimonial section for sure. So let's go ahead and bring up Sister Yolanda. I have some takeaways, but I want to hear y'all first. I'm not going to exhaust the time because we have about 19 minutes. So I want to make sure you all have as much time as possible. So let's see here. And let me make sure I share.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
So, dealing with the hypocrite, the enemy, the devil. In Message to the Black Man on page 104, they deceived our fathers and are now deceiving the children under many false disguises as though they want to be friends of the black man, woman, such as integration and intermarriage. And not necessarily on the intermarriage part, but I had a conversation last week with my daughter, and in my mind came general order number 1 to take charge of this posting all temple property in view. And my daughter was expressing how the Caucasian man and woman seem to be so nice and so welcoming and so on and so forth. I immediately looked at her. I said, I said, hey. That's beautiful. That's nice. But be careful. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Be careful of the information you provide. Be careful in your conversations, what you are communicating with them. Because, honey, let me tell you, they will find the moment and they sit back and wait in those pockets. The more they get out of you, listen to what you say, listen to your conversations. They pay attention to when you come to work, when you don't come to work, the state of mind and the state of being that you come to work in. No cut cards. So just be careful. I wanted to bring that out because that came to the forefront of my mind as he was talking about the evil of hypocrisy and then the enemy. And then I want to hit on that devil. The drag on. That drag on. Sister Yolanda, be careful that you don't turn into that dragon in any situations that you face, anything that comes your way that week, month, year, whatever. Don't, it's like compartmentalizing. Don't take my frustration to the next woman, MGT, and discussing the issue because, what is that thing that comes to my mind? Casting evil suggestions and firm resolutions. Hey, be careful what I say out this powerful force of mind that drag on. The hypocrite cannot have a friend because hypocrites is a friend of no one. And I just recently Man, every time we talk, have a lecture or whatever I have gone through or going through is just me sitting right in my lap. So timely. Oh, Allah, thank you. So after 20 some years, I just realized something yesterday. If you're such a hypocrite, why am I trying to be a friend to somebody that's been a hypocrite for all these years? And I have seen it time after time and after time. I'm just like, okay. I try to have compassion. Nevertheless, I'm not the author or the finisher or the change of anybody's life but my own. And I strive to do that. So thank you for this message again, dear believers. Thank you for the correction, Sister Melva. Just thank you. I'm just so appreciative of this power call. And another thing that hit me was it put to my mind a dragon, even though the dragon stood before the woman, like the dragon stood before Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's mother, where she tried to abort him. Allah said, no. I'm gonna make provisions for you to bring forth the next messenger, ruler, teacher, guide in the nation's life. And I am so thankful for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's mother. So thankful. I'm about to get emotional. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, sister. All praise due to Allah. That is definitely a great takeaway for sure. And what I would like to add on to that wisdom as well is that these teachings are constructed to mount us on truth. That's what the minister brought up as well. And when we think about that dragon or someone who is speaking those words of disbelief, their goal is to drag you down from that mountain of truth into darkness, out of that light into darkness. So we want to make sure that we're conscious of the conversations. We want to be conscious of what people are saying and doing around us, because what we do is directly connected to the way we think. So if we have a stronghold on the truth, then it opens us up to these suggestions, and then the tickling of the ears, as we learned about yesterday with the attitude, and how that cause of that attitude starts with the way, if we're not guarding our mind, how anything can just come to us if it's said in a way that makes so-called sense at the time based off of our immaturity in the truth or whatever it may be. You will be open up to those suggestions and you'll begin to question what you know is the truth. So we definitely want to be conscious of that. Brother Stephen, let me bring you up as well. Let's see here. But yes, again, press the number 1 if you'd like to share. Right.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
You know, ain't no strange happenings. The messenger said, the minister said, that the truth, when you know the truth, it will lead you in higher spirits. I'm paraphrasing. You will know when you have fell into the truth. And this is my first book that I read by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And this morning I'm in chapter 6 before the call. And it says, page 127, we must again remember that the enemies of God and righteousness do not follow the path of righteousness in any way. They were made to form the teachings of their own. They could not have been the God of this world. If they have followed the world teachings and guidance, they would not have been an enemy of ours. But since they had to build a world different from ours, they did so. Do not think hard on them for doing that which they were made by nature to do. We have to be careful. And it just takes me back to that dragon or that dragon. And it says that the dragon, the minister said that the dragon is taking us from the light back into the darkness. So from that, I understand that this dragon is a conscious and a knowledgeable being. Like when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that they had, but since they had to build a world, so this is another construction. This is an evil plot that was constructed just to prepare a meal that will rock us to sleep. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. You tapping in, brother, and you bringing that truth to us for sure. Because as the minister brought out at the end, the food is what can amplify those desires. It can amplify those suggestions in life as well. And we have to be guarded on that. And that's why it's so important for us to fast. It's so important for us to stay away from those red meats while we're on this path of developing into a God as well, because the whole point of a God is not going to be mastered by the urges or the emotions. The God is going to master those. So we want to make sure that we're on that right side of the spectrum, not being controlled by our urges, by our emotions, by the thoughts of others, but to control our thoughts, control our urges and emotions as well. Sister Randisha, let me get you up here. Inshallah, we'll get it straight today. I see you on twice, so I'm gonna just do the first one and we'll see what happens. There we go.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay, so it was a lot that stood out to me, but one was from the lecture. I mean, not even from the lecture, but it was from the article in the final call. It's called The Hypocrites. And one thing that stood out to me was, I want to say to my believing followers, be careful of the hypocrite who remains under the disguise of a believer. He or she who is a hypocrite is our worst enemy. No wonder God said that he does not guide them to any path but the path of hell. A hypocrite is a double crosser. I hate them as much as God does. I hope that Allah God will give the hypocrite the fire of hell. Woe to the hypocrites. I have to say that sometimes, when I was actually looking at this and we look on the outside, when we come into the mosque or when we see our brothers and sisters, we say, Assalamu alaikum, and they say, how are you, ma'am? I'm well. All praises due to Allah. Well, you look nice, sis. Yes, ma'am, I'm only a reflection of you. What are you reflecting? If we say that someone can be a hypocrite, or if we have that spirit of a hypocrite, right? But the Mustafa said in one of when the executive council was actually talking is, this is the day that we've been waiting for. It's for the hypocrites to reveal themselves. It's because one thing in the nation is we fight with those who fight with us. And now is the time, if we're actually looking in Revelations and we're actually following these scriptures. I was actually, while we were actually going through the minister talking, I looked up Belly. And I'm not sure if any of our older individuals know what Belly is, but it's a movie where DMX's Nas is playing and DMX goes to jail, but in order for him to be released, he has to join the Nation of Islam, and it says the Nation of Islam, and he has to work through the ranks to become a higher official. But when he goes to the minister said, I knew that you would come. And our and the minister's Savior's Day address, the minister said, I forgive you because I know what your purpose is. So the minister sees the hypocrites, but like he said, listen, when we're on our post, we are to take nothing. No one is to be able to create a nuisance on or near our post. Just like when Brother Malcolm made that comment to the minister, it ain't called snitching. This ain't the world. This is a nation of gods. And if we come in with that same spirit, guess what? We're not going to get nowhere. We have to clean up house. And if we can't clean up house, guess what? We really not going nowhere. But I do have to state that, we are fighting for Islam. We will surely win, but we all have to be able to close the gap of God. And one of our study guides has said, what was the gap between the teacher and his student? Was it that the teacher was here and the student was there to become what the teacher is today? What is our thought process? Do we get on this power call and how do we think of ourselves and how do we think of each other and how do we think of one another? How are we going about solving problems and conflict resolution, self-development, building a community? Our people are not easy to deal with, and I'm learning to deal with them in the best of manner. But I was born for this fight. I was born for this time. And when I'm on my post, I try to make sure that I'm a soldier at all costs, because all general orders are in effect from the 1st through the 12th. So I just wanted to say, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, my sister. Praise be to Allah. Like I said, we all are striving to improve, and we all are working on self. And we want to make sure that we are, handling each other the right way. That's always important, so that we are giving that right example. And let me just see. Let me get Sister Yasina up. We have about 5 minutes before it ends us, so just want to make you aware of that, my sister. Let's see here. There we go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I have to excuse me. I'm dealing with pumpkin madness over here with my baby. So, Sister Rendisha, I don't know how to come behind that, because that was some. I love your expression, and I love the beauty of how Allah is using you, as well as everybody who spoke. What you said just touched my heart. I wanted to very quickly, because I know the time is at hand, speak on what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said in respect to the woman and our need for protection. And he said that you can't protect what you can't control, and that a woman has to give that measure of control. You can't, as a brother, you can't just take it. And he says to the sisters, don't give it to a fool. And that's where, for the sisters, that's what courtship is about. That's what having the knowledge of who we are and whose we are, and having the knowledge of ourselves and what we as individual women need for our own cultivation, for ourselves as an individual, because what's for one sister is not for Yasina, and what's for Yasina is not for another sister. So I can't measure my life after somebody else's. But that protection, that we have to learn to allow, to humble ourselves and allow ourselves, even single sisters, particularly single sisters, allow yourself to be under this law. I'll say even for the sisters who are not in the Nation of Islam, the being home before dark, changing our style of dress. I'm not saying cover your hair if that's not what you want to do, but modest dressing, because what we display is what the world is looking at. And there are sick people out here. There are not just sick men, there are sick women out here also who prey on women, who prey on little girls. The minister talked about, how we should as mothers dress our daughters, how our daughters should dress in even in our homes. I teach my girls, I have young girls, they're not even teenagers yet. I'm teaching my girls now, no. You, with us being in the house, there's a way that you dress. But I have to be the example. So, they're gonna do what they see mommy do. And if I'm being other than myself, then I can't expect them to be good or be modest if mommy isn't modest. If I'm buying their clothes, that their clothing money is coming out of my pocket. So it isn't she wanted it. You'll dress like a Muslim. You'll dress modestly. And I tell them all the time, when you're older and you want to make those decisions of how you dress out of my home, because I don't care if you're 90 and you're living in my home, you will respect my authority, and you will respect the rules in my home and dress as a Muslim. So as women, we have to we set the standard. So if the minister said, don't be out late, we don't be out late. That movie might start at 7:30. You may have to catch the matinee the next day. So we have to set the moral standard of excellence for ourselves and set that moral standard of excellence for our children. And one way we do that, sisters, is support D Modest, support support Newell, and support Fashawn, because in those three areas we get our modest dressing, and we dress according to how the messenger and the minister are designing us as women of God. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, my sister. Beautiful call, beautiful call. Make sure you all utilize the Power Call testimonial section to share your takeaways. It may cut us off, but join the Power Call, thepowercall.net. If you want to upgrade, do so. And also, if you want to visit your local Muslim study group, be sure to go to www.noistudygroup.com. It's been another beautiful call, another beautiful day. And as always, continue to strive to be better every day. Don't try to take on the whole teaching in one moment. Well, it cut me off, but it's all good. Everybody on the Vimeo side, assalamu alaikum. Have a successful day. Continue to strive to improve, and I'll see you inshallah tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.